Yo, good evening. This is, well, you know who this is. Targeted individual, CJBK. So it's like 2:20 a.m. And, you know, so, I had another lucid dream manipulation again. And, this one felt pretty typical. From what I can remember, it felt like I was laying down. I don't know why, but I don't think it was a street, but I felt like I was laying down somewhere out in open spaces. Like I was just trying to enjoy myself or whatever. And then next thing you know, it was like a group. It was like a group of people walking by, and I seen one dude start to fix his mouth as if he was about to spit on me. So I was just like, I already know what this is. In my head, I already knew this was a dream. So I was just like, you know what, whatever. And he just started to spit on me. Then somebody else started to spit on me. Then another dude started to spit on me. Then, for whatever reason, one dude decided he wanted to try to kick me. But when it got to that point where somebody decided they wanted to kick me, I felt myself like grab his leg, kind of take him down, and then I don't know. At that point, that's when I decided to fight back, because I was just like, the one thing I wouldn't tolerate is, someone trying to actually make physical contact with me. And I was just like, I know that sounds odd. You would want to fuck somebody up. Well, I already said it. You would want to beat somebody up for actually spitting on you. But I don't know, for whatever reason, it was just like, the moment someone tries to make physical contact with me, that's when I decide, nah, that's when I'm actually, push back. So it was like I got up and I just started like, fighting everybody. And sure enough, like, of course I was taking in some hits. I was able to block most of the blows and just like taking them out, kind of breaking some limbs at the joints, one by one. And then I realized, I was just like, this is going to blow back on me bad. So it was like fast forward, after, beating everybody ass, basically. I seen the dude's faces again. And then next thing you know, it's like I think like one of them had a gun. And I was just like, I didn't even run. I just stood there with my arms open. I just said, go ahead. Cause I was like, that's just the world we live in these days. Now nobody could take getting the ass whooping no more. They always got to come back and want to shoot you or stab you or something like that. So I was just like, go ahead. And then I woke up and, I started feeling the same frequency pain. It starts in my lower back. I forgot what section is that. It's C something, but I forgot which part. But it's was it C4? I'm not sure. But I started feeling this pain in my lower back again, and it always starts on the lower left side. If I'm thinking in terms of the spine or with whichever nerve it is, it starts on the lower left side of my back, and then it travels down my left leg, going all the way down, and I could feel like this pain going all the way down to about like my ankle or so. And y'all gotta remember that the stuff that these electronic handlers are doing is basically a hijacking of the central nervous system. They're basically like using some type of like fMRI or some other type of device that can sense the frequencies of every single nerve. What is it? Yeah, basically they can use a device that sense the frequencies of every single cell and nerve within the body. Or better yet, if you actually can sense the frequencies of the central nervous system, and you can basically control every part of the body, because through the central nervous system you can control every single part of the body. So they always attack this one part of my lower left side, and it basically feels like a pinched nerve. But the thing is, I don't have nerve problems. So if someone can actually do that and try to induce pain in my body, then that's pretty much how that works out. Because I'm a healthy person. I mean, shoot, the jobs that I work, I'm always walking. I'm always physically active. I lift properly when I work. I used to be a power. I used to be a fitness trainer. I used to be a power lifter. But I never really had issues with my body. So now that I'm learning all these things about how someone can actually use technology to basically, detect the frequencies of your nervous system, your central nervous system, and they can manipulate what you feel and what you think and what you dream. And then the fact that they can also, sense the frequencies and electrical pulses in your brain, in certain parts of your brain, and they can find like your memories and thoughts. They can actually take those frequencies and upload it through what's considered probably like a remote, with like a remote brain computer interface, and whatever application. Or I'm also starting to think a quantum computer, but I'm just trying to figure out how would they get their hands on a quantum computer, but anyway, yeah, they would decode that through some very highly intelligent you know device or application, and then they can visually see your memories. They can visually see your thoughts, and there is information about this technology already out, where a scientist, matter of fact, here, one particular study is when Japanese scientists had used an EEG, and it was an EEG, electroencephalogram. What else? They also used the fMRI and some type of special brain-computer interface to actually take someone's dreams. As someone was sleeping, they could actually take the frequencies that were being produced in a patient's brain, run it through a brain computer interface and then generate an image of what that person was seeing in their dreams, and then be able to compile all those images into a actual film or video. So it's just like you could look this up. Hell, you could go to, what is it, Psychology Today. That's where I first seen the seen that article. Then I started to see it in other scientific journals. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna start finding other ways to be able to present this information. That way people don't just think I'm just talking based off of theory, because I have like bundles and like numerous amounts of resources where it's saved. I need to print them out before they try to delete all my bookmarks and stuff like that. I need to start printing these things out so I can have hard copies of them. Because when I start doing more awareness walks, I want to be able to have copies of them posted on poster boards so then people can actually read the scientific proof. Because, a lot of people, if you try to explain something to them, they'll just think, oh, you're just basically talking based off of opinion. Well, and I'm just like, nah, bro. the internet, the internet at your fingertips. You have the power of information right in your hand. And I've found everything that I needed to know. And, well, not everything, but a very good amount of the things that I need to know about some of this technology through the internet. And my next thing that I really want to try to understand is the idea of this augmented reality, or maybe the idea. Well, it's not even an idea at this point. Scientists have already proven that quantum computers can actually travel or receive or send and receive information through, interdimensionally. And I'm like the whole idea of interdimensionally is like completely sci-fi, but no, these technologies already exist. Interdimensional exchange of information, So when you think about it, it's kind of like, wow, wait, you telling me there's computers that can actually go through different dimensions? Yes, there are computers that can basically go through go through different dimensions. Now, the scary part about that is we have been told for many centuries that we live in a three-dimensional world, right? But the thing about it is, if you're spiritual, you also understand that if you're messing with other dimensions that you're not supposed to be messing with, then you typically may find yourself opening the gates to other spiritual dimensions that you don't really want to mess with. And the odd thing is, when you start messing with these other dimensions and you're from a three-dimensional world, you're not necessarily going to be prepared to deal with what kind of, interdimensional or other dimensional spirit that you may actually come across one day. And you might not know how to fight back of it, because, well, the fact that you're messing around with these dimensional technologies and stuff, And I mean, that in itself would just basically say you don't really believe in, these negative energy beings and things of that sort. You might actually bring something back into our dimension that shouldn't be here in the first place. And next thing you know, you're basically opening hell's gates in a sense. You got like tech CEOs like Steve Hoffman, giving these TED Talk conferences, or I think it was like TEDx something conference, and like other conferences and presentations where he's talking about, his company and maybe other companies are trying to create interdimensional worlds where you can literally leave your body, you know, um, synthetically, not like when we were meditating and you, ascend yourself to a different dimension, but you can literally leave your body using technology to enter into other dimensions. And I'm just thinking to myself, man, it's in the Bible that it says, "Thou shalt not make any graven image of the heavens above, the earth, what is it? The earth, what is it? The earth beneath the waters and the something like that. I can never remember the whole thing. But yeah, that's one of the 10 commandments. And God said, if you keep my commandments and you don't break my commandments, I shall bless you and grace you all the days of your life. And I just try my best to always, make sure I'm, obeying God's commandments. I know I'm not perfect. God knows I'm not perfect, but God still blesses me anyway because I still try my best to keep his commandments. Yeah, I was supposed to be sleeping till at least 3 a.m., but, got to deal with the electronic harassment, gang stalkers or organized harassment or, there's this one TI from, I think she's from Spain or something. And she's like commenting on many different Facebook posts, and she's like, it's called aggressive community therapy. And I was like, aggressive community therapy. I mean, that kind of makes sense though, because, these handlers, they're basically using this technology to threaten, extort, human traffic, and then socially engineer people of their choosing into different parts of society or the job sector. And for the life of me, I still just can't understand why people would just go along with something just based out of fear. Because, I mean, when you think about it, if this was any other type of situation where if someone walked up to them in the street and was just like, yo, you're going to do this, and if you don't, we're going to fuck you up. I mean, honestly, that person would basically look the other making the demands and just say, yo, fuck you. I'll fuck you up right now for talking all this. And then that's usually what will happen. But if someone is using technology against you and they're hiding from you and they're doing all these things, or they're saying that they're capable of doing these things to you, and you don't know what they look like, you don't know where they're coming from, blah, 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 you might, out of fear, just say, you know what, I'm going to just go along with it. But I don't know. My God told me don't have fear for no man or woman on this earth. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just, I've heard the saying or the stories that, God have, a few chosen select children who will be able to see when Lucifer or his other fallen angels and stuff like that are basically going around the earth trying to control many people, and many people will either fight against it or actually go along with it. So I don't know. I'm really just trying to live my life. And at this point, I'm basically just trying to do my best to, see what I can do to help other people who are going through this suffering to live their life, and everyone else who decides that they're just going to go along with it. I mean, you're just going to have to deal with God at the end of the day because you were afraid to actually say no, even though you probably felt and knew that this was wrong. And another thing for me to point out is that, okay, if this is a program, like a government funded program or however way that they're funding this program or whatever, to basically, because I mean, from some ideas I've been hearing that this is supposed to be a surveillance program used for terror, used for, anti terrorism, stuff like that, anti-terrorism surveillance program. What is being done to actually check the backgrounds and the moral and ethical standings of the people that's being funded and then assisted and given this technology? Because think about it like this. If someone can just basically have that much power to say, hey, I don't like this person, they might not even actually be a bad person. They might not even actually be a threat to society. They might not actually be someone you need to be worried about. But they can put you on this watch list and then send all this false information out into their so-called network. I don't know if they're using the app or email, whatever. I've heard that it's an app. Like some people will get a notification on their cell phone, and then it'll pop up. Then there'll be like your picture and some information about what they say that you did or what you're doing or blah 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 or what you're capable of. And then next thing all these people who get this notification when you're in their vicinity, they try to see if they can subliminally antagonize you and get you to react, which is kind of cowardice. So I'm just like, that's why I'll just say, peace be still, because if you always remember, God said, bless the man who is slow to anger. Bless the man who is slow to anger. You got to remember, because they're not actually going to do nothing to you, because they're going to do it subliminally. Right. And that's how they get paid. If they could get you to act out first and do something, then it's basically that's the big paydays come when if they can get you locked up, or if you can let me see, if you end up getting killed somehow, or you end up committing suicide. I think those are the three main ways. You either get locked up or checked into a psych ward or something like that, or you end up dying. They get paid some way, they get paid out of those three outcomes, right? So, but yeah, I'm gonna keep on working on my research, trying to find out as much information as I can. I already know the veil is slowly coming off of this. The veil is slowly coming off because there's so much slowly popping up on the news with direct energy weapons. It's only a matter of time before other things start to happen. And, there are videos online where it's actual, like, live investigative news reports on TV where people are reporting organized harassment. And I'm just like, look, I'm so happy that maybe it may not be CNN or NBC, but these local small news networks are actually reporting people well, they're actually doing investigative reports of citizens who are complaining about organized harassment. And if you want to see what these videos look like, I can upload some, or I can I can refer you to a link, in the comments below or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Maybe I could try to get some more sleep or something, but I just had to get this off my chest before I go back to sleep. And yeah, everybody, stay prayed up. You already know what kind of war we got on our hands. This is it's technological, but it's also very, very spiritual, because you got to remember, it takes a very special type of person, or a special type of, low frequency driven individual to want to wake up every day and decide they want to torture or even want to control people. I mean, the idea of wanting to control people, that just sounds like that just sounds like too much. It's already enough trying to control my own life. Why would I want to control somebody else's life? But anyway, remember, everybody, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.